So Stephanie's husband, Wally, went down this harrowing road of tonsillar cancer, and Stephanie tried to do a work-life balance and help him down the road. And what was it, about a 5-month journey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about a 5-month journey.
5 months that I was out of work.
So a lot of the story, majority of the story is outpatient. There's some inpatient experience. She just so happened to be on my floor for one night, I think. So we're the host.
On October 1st, our lives were turned upside down. My husband Wally was suspected of having throat cancer. His only symptom was a small bump on his neck. He's not a smoker and has an occasional drink. Our nightmare began as we traveled between inpatient and outpatient. Most of our story is positive, with a few bumps. For 7 months, we were consumed with illnesses, doctor's appointments, and treatments, lots of them. I knew I needed to be with him every step of the way, and this is our story. Our first step was to develop our team. Our primary doctor was Dr. Judith Blazin, who diagnosed him. She was very caring, a thorough clinician, excellent with my husband, and always looking out after our needs. I can't tell you how wonderful she was. We moved on to Dr. Bell, our oncologist, who again was out of this world, who was reassuring, knowledgeable about throat cancer, very caring, and gave us hope during our darkest time. The other team member was Dr. Christopher Jones. He works at RAS here. He is forefront of oral cancer for the last 20 years. He is tough to the point and told Wally that treatment was going to be very tough and difficult, and yes, it was. I'll start off with different areas. Insurance. We first had EPO at Sutter, and if you have a serious disease, things like PET scans and referrals take a long time. This was not acceptable, so we switched in January, and from then on, we didn't have any problem. Our first stop was Capitol Pavilion, where we had our diagnosis checked. He had to go to surgery, and they had to look down his throat and take biopsies. And Dr. Blazin was his physician, and again, she was terrific. The check-in was smooth, the staff was professional, and everything was going well, and off he went to surgery. I found out from Dr. Blazin that day that he definitely had throat cancer, and it had spread to his lymph nodes, so I was devastated. But as usual, she was helped me along, getting me to the PACU. In the PACU at Capitol Pavilion, unfortunately, I felt the only concern was to get us out of there. Being in a state of shock, my fighting reserve was down because I knew soon I was going to have to discuss his diagnosis with Wally. We left. He was very pale. He had trouble getting into the car. And on Interstate 80 at Loomis, he passed out cold. After pulling over and flattening his seat, he came to. I felt very alone and frightened. I explained my problems to the post phone call, and the nurse appeared to be abrupt and showed little concern. I needed to go on disability, which is very foreign to me in my 29 years at Sutter. I found the disability people to be cold, not helpful, and always threatening that I may lose my job and health benefits over the course of 5 months. I am an excellent employee who never had problems with sick time or disability and always was timely in my paperwork. I am still angry on how I was treated. After all, I am a customer too. We started chemo and radiation, and we chose the infusion center in downtown Sacramento. We had the option of going to Roseville or Auburn, but from recommendations of various friends, we chose them even though it was 36 miles each way. We were terrified of starting chemo. We found the infusion center on the 3rd floor to be excellent. The nurses were knowledgeable. They practiced very safe nursing care. They explained all procedures, and they were very comforting to Wally and myself. We received excellent follow-up, and the nurses just called to check on him. The atmosphere was clean, comfortable,